Well, that's right, guys. We're going to be removing some of this foam paneling here and doing some testing. This stuff is nasty. Please wear a ventilator, at least just a paper mask, eye protection. I usually put on a beanie. It's still cold outside. I do fog up a little bit, even with the best safety glasses. And yeah, we're just going to get this done. Alright, now we got most of the foam out of the ceiling. One of the things I will let you in on is the reciprocating 2-inch scraper here. Focus. I almost went back to get a 4-inch scraper because this thing works so well. But because it works so well, I really didn't need to go back and get the 4-inch scraper. I've got the flat side up towards the ceiling, the bevel down, and this thing just ate up the foam. You might be able to see the corners bent up a little bit. You do have to be careful because these have a big stroke on them, and you know, if you're not quite on something, it'll punch it pretty hard. But no damage to the blade, where I had already gone through a couple oscillating blades. It was very slow and very tedious. Now, I will say, and you'll see in some of the footage, the reciprocating blade, the scraper, didn't get everything off. So I did have to go back with an oscillating tool to kind of clean up the ceiling, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's definitely, this is still messy. This is going to chew up and make huge little tiny little sand size foam bits, and it's going to stick to everything, but it does get a nice clean look, and you don't have to come back with a sander, which is even finer and even more of a mess. Still need to get some of the rust off. Still waiting on Eastwood shipping. Ordered it on the 20th. It's the 29th now of March, and still no package. I got my welder, but not my spray paint and stuff. It's taking quite a while to get that stuff. However, we're pressing on, so we're just going to keep chugging along with the insulation. Once that gets there, we can get that rust capped off and move on from there. I have been using kind of a 40 to 60 grit wheel whenever I can. This Red Heat out of Norton, they put these plastic kind of pieces in between, and man, that really makes this thing last. If it'll focus, lasts a long time. Red Heat by Norton's, it's worth the extra buck, because I was chewing through other blades, and this thing is definitely where it's at. I even chewed down a door for a shed to line up kind of the castings, and yeah, this is still the only one I've bought. Still going strong. It's yeah, well worth it not to get the cheap Chinese discs. And we're gonna plug along. Got one extra 60 grit just in case I need it, but I haven't actually got into this yet. This is your standard flap disc. You can see how this is just stacked sandpaper on here, where the Red Heat really has kind of a little bit more going on. It's stacked in between some sort of plastic synthetic stuff, and yeah, it really extends the life of that. Anyway, let's take a look and see what the ceiling looks like. Oh, I mean, super, just ridiculously clean. You'll see again from the footage that reciprocating saw and the scraper just scraped this off in no time at all. It was long enough I can actually kind of get around here. I've not removed the side ones because I just don't think I'm able to get any good square foam in there, so I may just be covering this up with whatever I can with flexible insulation. I still have over the cab to do, but since this isn't really part of the living quarters, I'm kind of leaving this for a little bit separate project. We'll see. I may tear into that this weekend. But the entire ceiling is done except for where the AC unit is. I need to get my stands in here and lower that AC unit. I don't want to disconnect the lines for the Freon. So we're going to try to support that, get that last piece out. That way I can trace that panel, excuse me, get it insulated, get it back up, and then we can continue building this ceiling.
Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.